In the event that life had taken 10% longer to develop on Earth, it wouldn't exist by any means. Nearly quite a while back, we set up farewells to Explorer 1, sending it on a mission of no return. A mission that should open new entrances in how we might interpret the nearby planet group. Like a devoted worker, Explorer 1 has been sending back crowds of information to Earth, uncovering marvelous disclosures about our universe and taking us on an excursion into new universes we never knew existed. Now, Explorer 1 has taken its work excessively far by dropping an interstellar stunner on the laps of researchers. Researchers couldn't accept the obvious reality as they looked in wonder at the astounding information that Explorer 1 just communicated to Earth. An unnerving revelation that is very nearly revising enormous history as far as we might be concerned. What is this disturbing revelation that Explorer 1 just revealed? Is it true that Explorer 1 has crossed into interstellar space? Join us on this fascinating infinite excursion as we investigate what happened. Interstellar space has seen no space probe like Explorer 1 before, as this logical masterpiece has investigated profundities in our universe that shock even the best of researchers. This engineering riddle has gone into locales that we never expected to uncover, awe-inspiring disclosures that are changing how we might interpret interstellar space. For more than 45 years, Explorer 1 has disclosed stunning discoveries that space experts never imagined we would come across, at least not in the rocket's lifetime. Unfortunately, we could never have been all the more off-base, since Explorer 1 has surprised everybody by surviving far past its normal life expectancy. Like a Shakespearean fantasy, Explorer 1 has not just surpassed its projected life expectancy, but has wandered into distances that have left the whole academic community puzzled. We can't help but be in stunningness of a shuttle that is billions of miles from its platform. A shuttle that has wowed everybody with its virtuoso in revising the principles of space investigation. Thanks to Explorer 1, researchers have been compelled to dispose of a few restricting convictions and embrace new thought models with regards to interstellar space journeys. It's nearly like we were gaining from the books right without any preparation. Explorer 1 has held everybody enchanted by its crazy capacity to still send back information to Earth despite its very far distance in space. It's seriously stunning that we are continually getting information from the space apparatus, notwithstanding its obsolete innovation. Couldn't care less about how this causes us to feel since it has brought a prize to our faces with its most recent goosebumps-shivering disclosure. This is one revelation researchers haven't quit discussing since they deciphered the new message that Explorer 1 sent back to Earth. It appears that Explorer 1 might have given us the interstellar disclosure of the decade, a revelation we didn't even have to lift a finger to find. What more might we inquire for? The excursion to unlocking the secrets of the universe didn't start today but dates back as far as 1965, when the engine of space investigation was just beginning. We can't recount the story without referencing Gary Flandreau, who worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He was the glowing mind tasked with altering the ideal way for a space probe that would reach the far-off giants of our planetary group, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Flandreau took on this overwhelming task with great confidence and got to work promptly, putting his pencil to perfect use for hours. Then he found the unbelievable. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, all four gas giants would align in a cosmic dance, forming a heavenly jewelry with the Earth. This was a once-in-a-lifetime event, a memorable moment that we might, in all likelihood, never get to see again. From the data that Flandreau had uncovered, it was obvious that a shuttle passing by each planet could gain a speed boost from its gravitational pull, like an imperceptible rope pulling it. It dawned on Flandreau that an excursion from Earth to Neptune would have required 30 years. However, thanks to the computations he concluded from this, the trip could be shortened to 12 years due to these gravity assists. Without wasting any time, Flandreau relayed his discovery to NASA's top brass and advised that we begin making substantial plans to seize the opportunity this exceptional cosmic event would offer us. This remarkable astronomical event only happens every 176 years, like a deer running to somewhere safe. NASA got a move on quickly to avoid missing out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The opportunity didn't come as a surprise to cosmologists when the space agency launched two twin probes, Explorer 1 and Explorer 2, within 15 days of each other in 1977. The space probes left the shores of Earth for space with one order imbued in their computer systems: investigate the distant giants in our solar system. Although researchers were hopeful that these space voyagers would reveal valuable discoveries, nothing had prepared them for the record-breaking revelations that these space probes would accidentally find. In this amazing journey, the twin spacecraft lived up to their name by successfully embarking on an invaluable mission that has illuminated how we might interpret the nearby planet group and interstellar space at large. Naturally, one would expect their light to be extinguished with time. However, we could never have been more wrong, as these fabulous space wayfarers continue to blast forward in space, exploring depths we never imagined they could visit and keeping us abreast of the discoveries they unlock through the data they send back to the ground team on Earth. They have earned their place in the history books by wandering into the farthest distances trodden by any space probe in mankind's history. Besides, they consistently stun everyone by being the oldest known space apparatus in history. We can't resist the urge to have the utmost profound respect for their acclaim, since their original mission lengths were supposed to last only 4 years. However, they stunned cynics and everyone else by pushing past the limit that had been placed on their presence. The story continues to get more incredible as time passes, and researchers seemingly can't get enough of the amazing revelations that the explorers make. Since the beginning of their journey, these gallant rockets gave us exciting up-close views of Jupiter and Saturn. They took the veil off our eyes in regards to our view of these giant planets, revising incorrect thoughts and expanding the lens through which we view these far-off planets. Due to the journey across the immense chasm that had limited how we might interpret these distant giants, it was slowly filled in as our eyes became adjusted to the fascinating new worlds that we didn't know existed in Jupiter or Saturn. Researchers could not hide their astonishment at how these worlds were strikingly more beautiful, dynamic, and active than we might have imagined. Cosmologists nearly shouted in delight when the data provided by these space probes showed that these planets housed active volcanoes and glorious ice fields. It was like researchers had been granted entry into a Disneyland filled with the most spectacular space discoveries they could imagine. Who could have envisioned that a spacecraft, which is nothing more than a unique Volkswagen bug, could track into an unknown region and come out with unbelievable revelations, the kind we haven't seen or heard before? Like a brave hunter truly considering going into the heart of a dense forest, Explorer 2 did the unthinkable, being the first spacecraft to get so close to Uranus in 1986. Then it pressed on with this astonishing path until it sailed past Neptune in 1989. So far, the history books hold Explorer 2's name as the only space probe to have ventured to such lengths in investigating these two icy giants. What historians find more amazing are the milestone discoveries that these legendary visits have revealed. We would have remained in the dark regarding our understanding of these two distant worlds if Explorer 2 hadn't actually considered traveling that far. An excursion that has set it more than 14 billion miles from our planet. Explorer 1 could not have defied everyone's expectations on its own. Early in its journey, it needed help. We got to see this when its great journey began with a gravity assist from Venus, a maneuver never attempted before by any spacecraft on their way to Mercury. The Explorer's voyage is filled with records of many firsts, and they continued to set records every passing day as they cruised through the captivating waves of interstellar space. As exciting as this story sounds, it was not a simple ride for the explorers. It seems easy now, but years ago, when the space probes were moving through the various stages of their journey, they had a tense air eclipsing them. We see proof of this during their many attempts to make the crucial maneuver to Mercury. Also, the first leg of their journey to Jupiter was far from smooth, as the journey took them to a distance multiple times farther from Earth than Mercury. This legendary journey saw the probes navigate through the dangerous asteroid belt, a path that threatened to hinder them from their goal. However, the spacecraft had not come this far to be stopped, so they pressed on until they crossed the perilous region and continued their brilliant investigation of the planetary system. Although the probes had scaled through the asteroid belt safely, their concerns didn't end there. There were still a number of challenges awaiting the spacecraft along the way as they sailed through space. Researchers recognized the fact that the spacecraft was in a tight spot, especially when we consider that it only had 69 kilobytes of memory, which was equivalent to a small fraction of a modern smartphone storage capacity. Consequently, the spacecraft's computers had to rely on onboard systems to manage the complexities of their journey. It is fascinating to note that the data gathered by the spacecraft's instruments had to be stored on tape recorders before being sent back to Earth via a modest 23-watt transmitter, which was as powerful as a refrigerator light. Since Explorer was equipped with 12-meter dish antennas, it could easily use radio communication traveling at the speed of light to send and receive messages. Still, we can't help but wonder about the challenges the probes would face, particularly when their journeys would take them to distances over 22 billion kilometers from our planet. For the ground team at NASA, it is nothing short of a miracle that they can maintain contact with the probes. This accomplishment is thanks to the Deep Space Network, which uses enormous radio antennas that capture the weak signals sent from the explorers. Moreover, we see that the radio antennas maintain consistent contact with the probes as they adjust their positions to counter the Earth's rotation. The antennas that make up the network are strategically located in Canberra, Australia, Madrid, Spain, and California, USA. This ensures that the data is sent back to the ground team in real time. What's most interesting is that, despite these antennas being located thousands of miles apart, they work in perfect sync. There is no delay or miscommunication between the probes and the ground team. What happens here resembles the daily operations of a fully functional factory, where each worker's duties are well defined. Thus, each antenna knows the work it needs to do, and the responsibilities assigned to them are top-notch to ensure the Explorer data reaches its rightful owners at NASA promptly. At this point, one might ask why we put so much effort into ensuring that the Explorer spacecraft remains in constant communication with the ground team at NASA. The answer is simple. We need to get accurate data from the spacecraft in real time to know the progress of their journey and get an updated report on the stunning discoveries they are sending our way. This was proven by Explorer 1's recent discovery that left scientists at NASA scratching their heads and debating the best way to interpret the strange data the space probe just transmitted back to Earth. Before we delve into this milestone finding, let's take a step back and examine how the Explorer's journey to interstellar space has set a path that is now hard to beat by other space explorers. This investigation has opened our eyes to new possibilities, revising the limits of how far we think a spacecraft can go in space. It is worth noting that, after taking us on an amazing tour of our solar system and sending back data that has shaped the way we now view our astronomical backyard, Explorer 1 didn't stop there. It decided to venture beyond our imagination by outperforming all expectations and crossing the final frontier in 2012 when it became the first spacecraft to enter interstellar space. The acclaim didn't stop there, as Explorer 2 crossed the interstellar boundary 6 years later in 2018. Interestingly, the data that the space probes continued to send back from their interstellar space journey showed us the largest extent of the universe. Because of this interstellar investigation, the discoveries they have uncovered have helped us better grasp the space beyond our solar system, particularly the region where particles from our sun crash into material from the rest of the system. We are fascinated by the results the probes have gathered over the years. Explorer 1 started the party when it identified solid evidence of cosmic rays emanating from a supernova. It continued to impress as it relayed data about a more intense magnetic field in interstellar space than previously thought. What's interesting is that these discoveries kept coming long after their original missions had ended. They continued to light the way with new insights that expanded our understanding of the universe. This was possible because the Explorer craft was still in good working condition and its instruments continued to function and communicate data. Moreover, we see that the probe specialists back at NASA have been constantly reprogramming the onboard computers to ensure they continue working optimally. We see this expertise at play when, in 2017, they decided to turn on backup engines that had been dormant since 1980, 40 years ago, to change Explorer 1's direction. Their longevity comes as a surprise because these incredible spacecraft were originally expected to last just 5 years. Still, their successful extension missions have allowed us over 40 years of remarkable scientific achievements. Thanks to their amazing longevity and wide-ranging journeys, they have set the standard for the type of spacecraft we expect in interstellar space. We can't help but praise their accomplishments, as they have taken on challenges that were once inconceivable. They have ventured into domains that were unknown, investigating areas no human or spacecraft has ever visited before. Like a brave knight in shining armor, they have brought us treasures of knowledge that we never thought existed. In the years since their launch, the explorers have redefined how we understand the planetary system. They have expanded our impression of interstellar space and reimagined the limits of human knowledge and exploration. Their incredible journey has set a precedent that will be hard to surpass, and their discoveries continue to inspire scientists and space enthusiasts alike. The explorers have taught us that the possibilities for exploration and discovery are boundless, and they have shown us that we can achieve the unimaginable if we dare to think beyond practical boundaries. Their legacy will continue to inspire generations of space explorers, and their discoveries will remain a testament to the staggering abilities of human creativity and persistence. The story of the explorers isn't just a story of technological triumph. It's an account of human spirit, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Their journey is a reminder that we are part of a vast and mysterious universe, and there is always more to discover and learn.